Another opening, another show in Philly, Boston, or Baltimore. A chance for stage folks to say hello. Another opening of another show. Another job that you hope at last will make your future forget your past. Another pain where the ulcers grow. Another opening of another show. 4 weeks you rehearse and rehearse. 3 weeks and it couldn't be worse. 1 week, will it ever be right? Then out of the hat, it's that big first night. Overture is about to start.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Discovery, an opportunity to interview people who are helping to make life in Heritage Village so much more interesting. And today we have two special people in the spirit of Gilbert and Sullivan, Rodgers and Hart, Rodgers and Hammerstein, Bernstein and Sondheim, Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Today we have Gene Hinkson and Nancy Tobin. All right, maybe I should say Hinkson and Tobin. Is that the way you like to be referred to?
Either one.
It doesn't matter.
And they're here because they've written another musical for the enjoyment of people here in Heritage Village, and we should say throughout the region. We would love to see many people come. So want a chance to talk to you about how this play came about and what you're looking forward to. It should say it's Thursday, May 4th. We're a week away, and you both look cool, calm, and collected, and not a worry in the world.
Well, that's pure acting.
Pure acting at its best. Well, if I could, because and just to remind everybody, this is not your first rodeo. You've done another play together, another musical together, back in 2015 or 17, called Online with Love, which still gets people talking about what that had in it and the themes and how relevant it was. But prior to working together, had individually you worked on developing? Both had done musicals before with other people or
Yes,
on your own?
Other people.
Okay, but met here in Heritage Village?
We did. We met actually at a luncheon that Sonny Harris gave.
Yep.
And I knew who Gene was, and she certainly didn't know who I was, because Gene, is famous. And And so I introduced myself to her and told her, I'd really like to do something with her. And I said, I'll send you some samples of songs that I wrote the lyrics to.
I remember the moment exactly.
I do too. And so
that was 2015,
that was maybe 20, let's see, when was
2016 maybe?
Maybe 2016,
So once you got together,
We got going.
happened.
We got going, yeah, we did. So.
And so, had you done prior work in high school, college, after college? When did you first started writing songs?
Music has been my life since I was 8. I grew up in a musical family, so we were always making up stuff. But I didn't get a chance to actually write a musical until wonderful Heritage Village, where we have these opportunities to do things. And I first wrote for three musicals with Al Laster. I don't know if Al Laster, my hero, he was wonderful too. And he wrote poetry and plays. He did the same thing as Nancy did. Loved it, oh my God, loved it. And then that stopped until our lunch.
Right.
And Nancy, you did?
Well, I was in Lehman Engel's musical theater workshop at BMI in New York, and I worked with several composers there. And then I wrote 2 shows with one of them that I met there, and so they're still there. But anyway, it's a long story. At this point, I can't seem to get them off the, get them into the public. But they're completed shows.
Okay, cool. So after the success with Online with Love, was that the intention to do something else afterwards, or?
I always have the intention of doing something else.
Terrific.
This lady wants me to leave her alone.
Not true, not true.
Sometimes.
But I have more to fill my time with, it's true, because I accompany people and all, so it's
Well, she's very busy, Musicale, ukulele club, and what's the third thing?
Is there a third? Oh, Joy of
Joy of
Singing.
Singing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what was the impetus for Golden? When did you, the kernel of the idea of, should we do something?
July 17th.
Oh, pick a date, all right.
I was having lunch with my granddaughter and her husband, and I couldn't stay, and I told them this before because there was a program being presented here, and it was Elvis people.
Right.
And I try to support all the other shows, of course, because people support mine. But I would do it anyway, and so they knew that, but it was hard to leave. And I came and watched the show, and afterwards, I thought it was very crisp. There were no scripts. I loved that. I loved the fact that everybody knew their lines,
Mhm.
and it was beautifully directed by Neil Cowman.
Right.
And so anyway, I thought it was terrific. And on my way home, or that evening, I thought, it's not typical of a musical, but why couldn't you do a musical with vignettes kind of thing with song? And so that was tumbling around in my brain. And then I thought of the idea of the ages, 55. Actually, 55 was added later.
Okay.
We started with 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And when I talked to Jean about it, she loved it, but she thought I meant the 1960s, the musical of that time, which she was all on board with. So it took a while. My favorite thing to say, which probably annoys everybody, is communication is the most difficult of all arts. And so we had some trouble with understanding. Not really, but at first, I can think, I don't know. Well, anyway, so that was it. And then I started writing some dialogue, but truthfully, a lot of the dialogue came from the songs. We'd write the songs, and I'd write the dialogue around the song.
But where did the ideas for the songs come from?
Me.
Lyrics. She's
So
a poet. She's a poet.
Right. And then you hear the lyrics and you say, I hear some music?
Well, she writes beautiful lyrics, and she sends me the lyrics.
I
and
sent her
love
2
them.
verses,
Yes, only the beginning.
the beginning.
And then music comes from, of course, the feeling that the lyrics give to you.
Okay.
So I sit at my piano and I write the thing. And when you write music, if you start it, the bridge comes because it comes from the first part. So I would write, she'd give me these delicious lyrics, and I would write for the first part, say the verse part. And then with today's wonderful thing, just like you, I use my iPhone to record what I just figured out on the piano for the first part that she sent me, and the bridge. And I send her that. So now she has...
Now I have,
Right.
so it works both ways. Now I have music, and I have to put words to it, and then write the third verse. There are other constructions of songs, and we do have a couple that are different. But that's the basic way we work.
Works.
By the way, personally, I like to have the music first altogether, and then I put the words to it, because, and Jean says the same thing about the lyrics, it does something in my brain to open up a different construction, so to speak. I hear words in the music, she hears music in the words.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we have a lot of fun.
But that's interesting about technology. I mean, that's interesting how you collaborate and
Right.
We are
you hear
physically not
stories
together.
about-
We're in 2 different condos. We're
Right.
physically not together
Ever, no.
So it's not a.
He's not
No.
sitting at the
you s-
piano with
right.
me.
I mean, you see the movies with.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it, right.
And maybe they did. Before this, when I was working with someone else, she would send me cassettes.
Ah, yeah, right, I did that too.
And she'd send me cassettes of she liked to just write music. So I'd get all this music and I'd choose something to write lyrics to.
That's interesting too.
No, that's fascinating to me, this kind of back and forth. I mean, because I made that attempt at a joke with Gilbert and Sullivan, but they were sending, I guess, scores, written scores one way, then lyrics back, because they never were together.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't
really?
think their
I didn't
relationship
know that.
was,
Oh,
I
cool.
think they kind of hated each other.
I think you're right.
Personality-wise, but they created
Yeah.
magic, And I'm not saying you have personal problems between the two of you. You
No, we
just-
do not.
No, but we do
just-
get, at times, I know we do
Well,
disagree.
we've
We
had
work-
disagreements.
Yeah.
But just curious, with Online with Love, did you sit down together, or is similar kind
Same
of
thing.
passing things back and
Was I
forth?
doing cassettes then, I guess, 3 years ago?
No, we did it on email.
We had the phone even then.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did use cassettes years ago, that's the same
Mm.
thing.
So once you got to saying, okay, we're gonna do this, and you wrote down some lyrics, when did you kind of feel like, okay, we have something, we can go to the theater guild and say, you know, we should,
Well, we didn't do that right away. We waited till we really had something. We started, I have my calendar and my emails back and forth, so we really started writing together the end of August, sometime in August of last year, 2022. We wrote the show in 6 months,
okay,
and I had COVID in November, so if it hadn't been for that, we would have been 5 months probably. And then we had to write another song just recently in April
About 10 days
25th.
ago.
We met with our singer on the 24th at Jean's, and she explained why she couldn't sing humdrum. And we listened and
you
understood.
could sing it the way it was, or?
What she explained to me, and which Jean really understood right away, and I did too in a way, but that her voice wasn't, she refers to her
Okay.
voice in the third person.
Okay.
Her
Right.
instrument
Right.
couldn't sing the chromatic
Mhm.
parts of the song.
Okay.
So we said, okay, so we wrote another song the next day.
Just for that, that's
But
how
there
we
is a
want to
song-
please our cast.
Right, yeah, they should be very appreciative. But, you know, having just listened in on one rehearsal,
You-
there is a song
Well,
called Humdrum,
Right, so
Yes,
but
we
it's a
kept
very different song.
Another singer.
we had to pluck another person out of the chorus to give her the song, and I had to rewrite
Okay.
the scene that it was originally in, because it now made no sense with Karen's new song, and then introduce this other little character
Okay.
to sing it, yeah.
I just want to put in here, she, on this spot, sent me the most gorgeous lyrics. It's called, I want a rainbow.
I want to be a
I
rainbow.
want to be a rainbow. How can you not write for these beautiful lyrics? So even though it was like out of the blue, quick, tomorrow,
Right, right.
you know, when you see lyrics like that.
Jean said she couldn't wait to get to the piano,
No.
or it would have been much quicker.
I think it was like 11 o'clock at night, we usually.
We were
Do
back
work
and
it.
forth at all hours.
That's great.
But it's so exciting
It is.
for me, you know, to send her some words and then to hear what she does with it. I'm just, that's what the exciting, fun part is.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
We both
The
get that.
teamwork and
Yes.
just, well, synergy.
It's
I mean,
synergy.
What each of
I
you do
love
is
it.
fantastic, but then when you put it together, the sum of the parts
That's
is,
it.
is
It's
bigger.
bigger, absolutely.
Well, it sounds very exciting. So are you, you know, there's one thing in your mind when you write something like this, I assume you should have a vision the way it's gonna look? Are you,
She gets the vision, then I have to get it.
well, I mean in
That's
terms of
the
the overall
difference.
look of the
Yeah.
show. Because now it's taking it from sort of paper,
Right.
and now it's on a stage.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
and that again is exciting.
That's true,
Because
very.
people add
Very.
so much, and then all sorts of things, lighting and sets and sounds, and, you know, it adds, it's collaborative, and it's just wonderful.
I would like to share that when you've done this and you have a song, and you have the song in your head, and another human comes to your house and sings it, I had tears in my eyes, because it's come alive, it comes alive, it's so
Right.
true. So that's a good thing for us too, when you first hear it.
Oh, gosh, yes.
It really is rewarding.
I get chills, you know,
Yeah.
just, you know, hearing them.
If I could just put a plug, having been at one rehearsal, you know, I think, well, I walked out singing the songs.
Did
Or-
you?
or
Oh, I
humming.
love it, Ed.
Because they're catchy. And, you know, and there's a lot of controversy about that. Some, like Sondheim, sometimes his songs are not.
No, I'm not a song.
Things that you just, they're great
Yeah.
songs, but they're not.
Except for bringing the clowns, which is so fabulous.
Okay, no
That's
argument there.
He's more of a lyricist, fantastic lyricist.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
He is, he was.
But this to me, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, but they remind me of older musicals that you walk
Yes.
Yes,
out
they are.
humming the tunes.
Well, we're older people.
That's why. There you go.
There, we're all together on that, no problem. So I'm not sure, but I think you answered the question, that things are moving along to take it not only from the written score
It's coming
and
alive.
lyrics,
It
to
is.
coming alive, and people are making a big mistake if they don't buy tickets.
Oh, gosh.
As
please.
soon as they, if they haven't
Yeah.
already, as soon as they see this video, they should run right down to the activities
Yes.
desk and demand.
Well, we sold out,
Ticket.
Online with Love, we sold out.
3 performances,
Yeah.
the first time.
Yes.
The first time. The second time, we didn't sell out on one of them anyway. But that's all right.
But we should sell out
Yeah.
three showings, Friday night at 7 o'clock, May 12th, 7 o'clock, May 13th,
Right.
7 PM, and then Sunday afternoon, May 14th at 2 PM,
Yep,
Right,
and $10 a ticket.
yep.
right.
All right, so now you know everything you need to know to have one of the greatest musical adventures of your life. So now that
That's
you're
very
kind
nice.
of almost behind you, not done yet, but a week to go, are you ready to start another one?
Of course I am.
She probably is. I don't know about me.
You want to go on vacation?
I am going on vacation. It'll be great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
I-
surprised if she comes up with something,
Well,
very creative girl.
You
Well,
are
if-
too.
Nancy, if people have or ideas, do you want people to send you ideas?
Well,
I know.
that's fine, but I don't really work that way.
Okay. fair
Because
enough.
I don't know what I'm going to do
Right.
until I
Do
do it.
it.
Right.
I'm not a plotter. Although I've long had a children's musical in mind, Jean
You've
knows
been
about.
saying that for a long time.
Yeah. I saw a musical that's kind of well-known, and I frankly thought it was terrible. I thought, terrible. And I thought, well, I should write one, because I know I can do better than that.
Well, you got my vote.
Thank
I
you.
think you should do that.
We can't use villagers for that, though.
Well, yes, we can, people can imagine.
Oh,
I mean,
Our inner child.
the inner
Yeah.
child, why not? Why not?
All right, well, again, I think it's gonna be an excellent production. I think it's very exciting, and again, it is a real gift to the village, because, is it 16 people in the cast?
18.
18?
Well, it was 18, now it's,
Oh, maybe 17.
now it's,
Well, close
we
enough.
lost,
Two-
we lost
no, I
Sherry,
guess it
and we
is.
lost Karen, so it's
16,
16.
you're right.
16, you're right.
And it's a great opportunity for them.
It is.
Anyone
They have a
leaves-
good time, we really
and
do.
People, I think, find it as a great outlet,
Yes,
and what I find exciting sometimes when I hear people who never did this kind of thing in their life,
that's the whole thing.
and now they're, found another part of their,
Yes.
their being that's very exciting for them
Yes.
to take on and
Right.
explore, and
And
we're a
succeed.
very, welcoming community that
Yes.
allows people who might get up there and make a mistake, but nobody's gonna be laughing at them.
I
No,
think that Heritage Village is awesome for that reason, and the same thing with art. Art's the same too, they have
Right.
classes here, and suddenly you're doing watercolor you never did before.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
We're lucky.
and they get to know each other, and
Yeah.
you become a family,
Sure.
You
you
do.
know, you really do.
Yeah, so it's I think that always happens with any production.
It does.
Regardless of the
Yeah.
age, but it's nice that
Yes.
they have that opportunity here. So, and, big thank you to the Heritage Village Theater Guild for the tradition they've built up. So that,
Sponsoring
They're
us.
wonderful.
it's not like you're starting with nothing.
No,
You really can build on, all the
Yes.
years and years of work that they've done, equipment, things of that
everything.
nature.
We have
Very
their
helpful.
expertise,
All
we're
right,
Yeah, we're grateful,
very good.
totally.
All
grateful.
right, anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Just,
We've had a lot of fun,
we do,
yeah,
All
we
right.
do.
we do. It's wonderful to see it come alive.
Mm.
We're looking
Great.
forward to it.
Well, congratulations on everything you've done so far. I'm
Thank
sure it's
you.
going to be, hold that up in case you didn't see it, and I'll put that in the film. Look forward to seeing it myself, and
Great.
relax. The next week, everything's going to just go smoothly, nothing
Sleep
to worry
again.
about. All right.
Thank you,
very
Ed.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you for watching.